to all the issues. Lord, keep me from going mental. Help me sure the bed ain't simple and stay woke on instrumentals.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CHH Hysteria, a podcast for CHH about everything CHH. I am your host, Cole.
And I'm your co-host, Cooper.
And before we get into today's episode, I want to give a real quick shout out to Apex Frazier for allowing us to use his track Revenge of the South as our intro, which you just heard. And we actually had him on this show as our second episode, which it isn't on YouTube, but it's on Apple, Google, and Spotify. So be sure to check that out if you haven't. And also, he's dropping a new single titled Vendetta this upcoming Friday, the 8th. So be sure to check that out when he drops it. We're huge fans of Apex. And I'm just super excited because it's a new year, 2021, super hype. And as well as Cooper and I both got new mics around Christmas time. So I hope you guys can kind of hear a little bit of a better sound quality coming from us. I'm also in a new spot in my house that Cooper and I, we found out, we kind of came up with this idea, like, I don't know, pretty late one night last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And we just moved my desk, my chair, my computer, and everything down while my wife and my sister were in the other room. And they were just confused as heck. But I'm pretty hyped about this, and also I'll be recording on a new computer soon, which I don't know if it's just a psychological thing for me or if it actually sounds better. Like when I was recording with my mic, I feel like it sounded better on my my nicer computer, but we'll see. But anyways, moving on to this new episode, we have we're going to be reflecting on 2020 being. It was just such a good year for CHH. We had so many good songs, so many good albums coming out from artists we already know and love that have been in the game for a long time, and also a lot of new breakout artists that are just like really starting to it's getting me really hyped just even thinking about it for 2021 CHH because of all these new artists that are just killing it right now. But pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our top 5 albums and compare that to our actual and most top 5 played albums, and then also our favorite songs of the year. So Cooper, do you want to go ahead and start us out on your top 5 CHH albums and your personal?
Yeah, so at number 5, I took HGA. I didn't like it as much as Today We Rebel, but it has some really solid songs, and it's all really well done. And I really like Yes Song and also His Name were some fantastic songs that I really like. And then number 4, I have Heathen by Gavi. This is Gavi's third project, and it's really well done. And it's just there's every song I think is really solid. There's just a couple skips for me personally. I don't really like Girl and 45 that much, but that's just a personal opinion. But they're still like
45. I mean, like I'm not a big fan of Girl either. I feel like a lot of people aren't, but 45 kind of surprises me. But anyways, continue.
Yeah. And then number 3, I have Divine Storm by Ty Brezel. This was such an amazing album, and personally, my all-time most played album is Destined for Greatness by Ty. So this was a really good follow-up album, and there aren't really any skips. Like they're all so solid. The only skip is the interlude, and that's like a given. And they're just all fantastic, like paid for it.
That's like the I feel like even the interlude's cool. It's not even like him talking.
It's like
a cool, like eerie sound, like even the interlude. But anyways, continue on.
Yeah. Even the interlude is good. Like that's how good of an album it is. And like just every song is so well done. Some songs that I really liked are paid for it. To the West Side is really, really good. And then number 2, I have Broken Heart by Hovey. It's technically an EP, but it's just so good. Like this EP is just so good. It's just they're all so just I can't describe it anymore. It's just so good. And it set a really high bar for Hovey coming in to 2021, and also with Reach, because I believe this was his I guess this was his second project under Reach. I think Prelude was also under Reach. But it just set a really high expectation. But it's so good. Like songs, like everything is just such a. It makes you think, and Anchor is also really good. And then some for honorable mentions. My Life is a Beautiful Mess by Klesso is really good. I really liked Three Times or 3X, however you want to say it. And then Popular was also really good. And then Exit was a pretty solid album. And just overall really solid work by Wande on one of her I think it's her first album under Reach. I think she is a little bit like I don't really see people talk about her that much. But this was a pretty solid album. Nice Things was really good. I like that. And then same with Happy were some really solid albums. What were your top 5 albums or top? Yeah.
I think you're forgetting your number 1, right?
Oh yes. So number one. Oh boy, all coveted. Restoration by Lecrae. It has to be number 1. Like this was probably my most anticipated album of the year. I knew Lecrae was gonna drop an album this year, like coming into 2020. I think we all figured it. And this is just so, it's just so beautiful. Like every single song, you just can't skip. Like it's just, and it tells such a good story about him, and his his restoration through the time between the time between these All Things Work Together and 2020 or Restoration, and it tells a really good story about him, and just every single song is so good. It's just it's unbelievable. Like it really shocked me how good it was, and like the deluxe was even better because it added 4 new songs pretty much. I think was it 4 or 5?
It was 6
and like
tracks,
3 or
but like
yeah.
2 of them. Well, one of them we already heard, and another one was a remix.
Yeah. So 4 brand new tracks. Restoration was just so good. Hovey absolutely kills that song. Lecrae kills it. 1K kills it. Wande kills it on that song. Everyone just goes absolutely in on the beat. The beat is insane. Just so good. What were your top 5?
Yeah, I understand that that adoration for Restored. Like if you don't share that, like are you really a CHH fan? No, but just playing. If you don't like the song, it's all good. We just don't have some beef, But
yeah.
Nothing too personal, but it's always personal. But no, I'm actually kind of surprised by your top 5. I'm not gonna lie. Broken Heart being number 2, I was pretty surprised by that. I was surprised by HGA being number 5. I know we've talked about it. I was still expecting to be a lot higher. But anyways, yeah. My top 5. My number 5 was My Life is a Beautiful Mess by Klesso. This, especially the first half of the album, is so good. My personal favorite is probably Halo, but I also love 83 Times. I also love Popular, Wody. I mean, there's just so many bangers on this album. Overall, super good, and I'm really excited for Klesso. I mean, this is just his debut album, it's just up from here, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he's going to be really big. He's going to be one of the leaders of CHH in the future.
Oh, yeah.
And then my number 4 was Heathen by Gavi. So we share the same number 4. I'm a huge Gavi fan. I'm a Gavi fanboy, and yeah, like when you said he has 3 albums, I was like, wait, he only has 2. I totally forgot We Belong. I mean, I love We Belong. It's so crazy because We Belong is so different from his other 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, sometimes I forget that it's Gavi album. But anyways, yeah, like funny enough about Heathen is I actually didn't like it the first few times I listened to it. I thought it was okay, but like it wasn't anything crazy to me. But it's just grown on me, and I really love the album now. I mean, songs like Skull and I'm Fine, Skull and I'm Fine are 2 of his best songs behind With You and Baker Act. Like for sure, super good. I love him.
Definitely.
Overall, really good album, and I feel like it's another album that I've been to 3 Gavi concerts now, and I think Heathen's gonna be super crazy in concert once it comes back. Hopefully in like fall of this year. We'll see if it'll be safe enough then. But anyways, number 3 was Sad People Make Dope Music Too by Mowgli the Iceberg. It's really hard for me to choose between How I Should Have Heathen and Sad People, just because I love them both so much. The reason I put Mowgli's at number 3 was just because I feel like, as far as CHH goes, there is no one that sounds like him, even close. He's just such in his own lane, and I feel like, he really started this emo sound back in 2018 with the first Sad People Make Dope Music, and he's like, the second one is just like, it's perfected. Like he's really perfected that sound. I mean,
Yeah.
something changing you along the way. First of all, it's a long name, so you already know it's gonna be super emo, and it's like a 2006 emo anthem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it's
like
great.
I still find single strands of your hair in the front seat of my car. I'm like, wow, that's like emo, bro. Like I love it, and like, I'm just here for it. Like, What Happened to Us, Distance. I mean, whenever No Big Deal and Mowgli get on for a track, it's always like, it's just so good. But
It's gonna be crazy.
right. So that's my number 3, and then my number 2 is Restoration by Lecrae. And like Cooper said, the deluxe version just makes it 10 times better. And actually, just last week, I finally got around to reading his I Am Restored book. And his book also makes the album like 10 times better. So if you haven't read the book, make sure to check it out. Definitely worth it. It really puts the album into, like, it's like the album in book form, like it really is like, that's how I can explain it, like they go together, and I feel like you're missing a piece of, like, not that you're like the album's worse without it, but like it makes the album better, and the album makes the book better. You know what I'm saying? Like they go together. They're so good together. And I just love it. It's like, as far as like the original version goes, some of my favorite tracks. My favorite might be Self-Discovery. I love that song. Also,
It's a good
Drown,
song.
which I know is like the basic answer, but like it's basic answer for a reason. I'm just saying. Like, it's a good song, and you can never listen to too much Drown. I mean, like John Legend and Lecrae, like, why wouldn't you ever not listen to that song 100 times?
Oh yeah.
10. And I also loved Only Human. That was a super good track on the original. But as far as the deluxe goes, my personal favorite on the deluxe and the original is Restored. So good. Like Cooper said, he was just going on about it, so I'll kind of leave it for that. What Cooper said, it's amazing. I mean, what else can you say about it? One of my other favorites from the deluxe version was Rich and Famous. I love Ty. I love RG. I love Lecrae. I love all three of them together. It's easy. Like 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. It's just like that. 1 + 1 + 1 = 3 times the amount of love for me.
Exactly.
Exactly right. So you get it. So before I go to my number 1, I got some honorable mentions. I have The Divine Storm as one of my honorable mentions. Like Cooper said, Ty Brazel is just crazy, dude. My opinion, he's one of the biggest CHH artists in a few years. He's one of the leaders for sure. I mean, I already know he's like one of the bigger ones, I'm pretty sure. Like, considered number-wise. I'm not sure. I'd have to fact check myself.
Yeah.
By the way, like, Ty Brazel doesn't miss. You know what I'm saying? Like, the
I
great...
think so.
Nah, man. Destined for Greatness. There we go. Destined for Greatness. Super good. The Divine Storm. Amazing as well. And I just love Ty Brazel. And then, as well, I had Broken Heart. And the reason why I put Broken Heart in my honorable mentions rather than my top 5, it was a really big contender. It was just really hard to put it in there, just because it's an EP rather than
That's fair.
rather than what's it called, an album.
Yeah.
There's like 7 songs versus these others like all had 14. You know what I mean, or more, or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess HE only had 13, but like, it was just a little harder, but like, lyrically it's great. I love the whole concept of it, like a spiritual journey that everyone can relate to. Like, it's just overall a great EP. My personal favorite is Everything. I think Cooper's favorite was Everything as well.
Yeah.
And you can't go wrong with Everything. It's one of my favorite Hovey tracks as well. It's that and best Hovey tracks. Don't at me or do
Easily.
And then my number 1 for the year, which will come at no surprise to anyone that knows me, is His Glory Alone by KB. I mean, okay, let me fanboy for a second. I am like the biggest KB fanboy, and Cooper can whatever you call confirm
attest
that,
to it.
right? You can confirm that. Like, when I go to his concerts, I have no control on how much I spend on merch. I have no, like, I just like, KB is my guy,
It's a dangerous thing.
he is my number 1. I went to an NF concert and I made KB 5 new fans. I was at an NF concert telling people about KB. That's how big of a KB fanboy I am. But anyways, that does hopefully it doesn't make me blind to see this album as what it is. But in my opinion, it is my favorite album of the year. I mean, we got songs like "This Is Life." We got "Dark Skin." We got "Armies." I mean, we got so many tracks on here that I adore. And like it was a long time coming. You know,
It was.
he released the album only like under a month before the 3-year anniversary for Today Rebel. So we waited 3 years for a new KB project, and it was worth the wait in my opinion. But hopefully this next one doesn't take 3 years. I'm hoping we get one next year, but we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
But we never had an album like this. You know, we've had songs that kind of had that CCM mix or like worship track, whatever you want to call it. But we never had a whole album based around that CCM worship trap. You know what I mean? Like, I love CCM. I love CHH. They go together, and I'm like, heck yeah. So KB made it like half his album, man. I was like, dude, yeah. But moving on.
He does it so well, too.
Right, he does it so well. No one does it better.
Like, it's insane.
I mean, Crowns and Thorns was like the little like intro to HCA, and it like, man, it's just crazy. But yeah, anyways, moving on. We're actually going to compare what our top 5 were to our actual top 5 most played. And how we got this data is through a service called Last.fm. It's really handy. Pretty much, it's really good if you have Spotify. Pretty much all you do is you sign up and you connect it with your Spotify account, and it tracks all your plays. It can't go in the past and track what you've previously listened to, but I've had it since like 2017. So all of my 2020 numbers are in here. So every single song I listened to in 2020 on my Spotify account was tracked here. So, Cooper, do you want to go ahead and say your top 5 that you had, starting with number 5, and how many plays you had on the album?
So number 5 for plays was His Glory Alone by KB with 95 plays. Wait, I can't count. Sorry, I looked at the wrong place. So for this year, so the last 365 days, Lowercase Tape was actually my number 5 in terms of plays, 120 plays, because I can't count. And then number 4, it's Broken Heart with 123 plays. Then Restoration by Lecrae at 159 plays. And then The Divine Storm at number 2 by Ty at 225 plays or 225 plays. And then my number 1 is actually Heathen at 253 plays, which was really surprising to me when I first looked at it.
Oh, that is surprising. I guess
what were yours?
You've had the most time to play, you know, like
I guess it's true.
Since what's it called, April?
Yeah.
So my number 5 was Sad People Make Dope Music 2 by Mowgli. With 665 plays. My number 4 was Broken Heart by Holvey with 675 plays. And then my number 3 was Heathen by Gavi with 1,599 plays. My number 2 was Restoration. I put Restoration and Restoration Deluxe numbers together, and I got 1,868 plays on Restoration and Restoration Deluxe. This does not include singles, by the way.
Yeah.
I guess I should have thought about that, but hey, you live in your life, right? And my number 1, of course, was His Glory Alone with 2,344 plays this year. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of KB, like I said. But I don't know.
Holy heck.
I like listening to music, if you can't tell. And, you know, kind of fun to see is Last.fm actually gives you a lot of stats. So it'll tell me how many albums I listened to this year. If I can remember how to get there now. Oh, I listened to 2,562 different albums this year. Not all of those are CHH. Obviously, I listen to a lot of different genres, but probably 60 to 70% of those albums are probably CHH. Maybe give or take a few. Probably take a few. Might be overestimating that.
Yeah.
But Cooper, how many albums did you listen to?
So I have 392 albums listened to, and that's the majority CHH. I only really listen to CHH and CCM.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. But anyways, on to the next thing, which is our song. Some of our favorite songs from this year. I thought about maybe trying to make a top 5 songs, but there's so many good songs this year and just so many songs to pick from that would be impossible. I have this giant list of songs I love from this year, and I'm not even about to name them all. And there's probably more, and I'm finding songs, Every Day that I love that came out in 2020 that I don't that so I'll probably find some tomorrow and stuff like that. But anyways, it's like some of my favorite songs from this year was, like I said, Restored. Restored's probably my favorite song from the whole year. This Is Life, Dark Skin, Willie and Parabolic by Dilly, No Big Deal. Hard Life and Falling by the homie Tyler Hates Life. No I'm Not Okay by J-Way. Skull and I'm Fine by Gavi. I almost said by Heathen. Same bit. The Call by Camban and Swayze. Everything by Hovey. And I mean the track Everything, but I also do love everything that came out. But Show Out by Miles Minnick. And yeah, what are some of your favorites, Cooper?
So some of my favorite songs that released in the year, right?
Yeah.
Or so I really liked like Restored was really good. Like I said, it was probably my favorite song of the year, just like you. It's just so good. 83 Times really surprised me. I think that's probably in my top. Like, it's just so good. It's really catchy too. But it's like close to this project really caught me off guard in general. And then, like you said, Everything, the song by Ohovi, was really good. Anchor was so good. It's just, yeah, the lyrics are really well done. Everything. To the West Side was really good, by Ty on the Divine Storm. And then, and Yes Song by KB on HGA was also really good. But those are some of my favorites.
Oh, I love Yes Song. I love all those they said. I forgot to say Halo and A3 Times as well, you know.
Yeah.
So good. Anyways, now we're going to name our top, let's do 7, just for the funsies of it. Our top 7 most played tracks of 2020, according to Last Out FM. Cooper, do you want to go first from number 7 to number 1?
Alrighty. So at number 7, I have Wasted Times by Hovey at 27 plays, which is just a fantastic song. Then I have Drip Leave by What Up RG at 29 plays. Another one. Fieldhouse Freestyle by No Big Deal with 33 plays. Then I have Set Me Free by Lecrae with also 33 plays.
The first one that came out in 2020.
What?
I said that's the first song you've said that came out in 2020.
Yeah, I really like 2019 apparently in 2020. And then at number then I have Ants in My Pants by Not Clyde with 38 plays.
Goated.
Just such a fun song. If y'all haven't heard that song, please listen to it. It's just so good. And then I have Love Again featuring Mowgli the Iceberg by Not Clyde with 40 plays.
To go off and
go
off.
Yeah.
To start playing either Sticks by No Big Deal.
Ants
in My Pants by Not Clyde, and this kid will dance his heart out and rap his heart out, and he can't rap. I'm just playing.
I can't rap either. Yeah.
Oh man.
Love Again has 40 plays. No shame.
How many plays did Love Again have?
40, and then my number 1 was Sticks by No Big Deal at 58 plays. So I only had like one song.
You had one song in there by 2020. Yo, I'll be surprised. I'm gonna say I'm surprised that Love Again was your second most played track of this year.
Oh yeah.
I'm really surprised. Not gonna lie, but
I listen to it a lot. Though.
That's so funny that your number 1's Sticks. I guess like it's almost a 2020 song. Came out in like November of 2019.
That's true.
So it's pretty much a 2020 song, right?
Yeah.
How many plays did you have on Sticks?
58.
58.
So.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So my top 7. It's a little different than Cooper's. It's all Lecrae's or KB. Like I said, I really like HGA. I really like Restoration. But my number 7 was Dark Skin by KB with 199. My number 6 was Set Me Free by Lecrae with 206. My number 5 was This Is Life by KB with 208. My bad. My number 4 was Drown by Lecrae with 229. My number 3 was 10K by KB with 240. My number 2 was Little Boy by KB with 246. My number 1 was was Armies by KB with 313. So I liked KB.
I mean, Itchy was pretty darn good.
Right. And it'll be so how many tracks did you listen to? How many unique tracks did you listen to this year, Cooper?
Hang on. Get to the page that I need to. 723 unique songs I listened to. How about you?
Not bad, not bad. I had 4,605
Oh!
unique songs. So
So many.
that was a little bit more than I thought, actually. Probably only half of those are CHH in that, and to be completely honest. But, well, maybe over half. I mainly listen to CHH, but this year I listened to, like in maybe like October or November, I tried listening to a lot of different Spotify playlists from different genres. So I got a lot of different plays there. But anyways, thank you all for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow on your podcast service or subscribe on YouTube. Leave a comment in the comment section of what your favorite releases were, what you're excited to see in 2021. And be sure to follow us on our socials at CHHysteria on Instagram, and on Twitter it is at CHHysteria Media. Also, check out the CHH Discord if you want to join a community of believers that love CHH, and the link for that will be in description. And until next time.